Hello, I'm Sid Whedon, and this is the psychic weather report for the 19th of August, 2025. I did all this yesterday, but decided not to publish it because I didn't like the way I was talking. I'd had a couple cocktails, and that's not a good way for me to do recordings. It's a good way to have fun, maybe, but it's not a good way to make a recording. So I'm going to do it all over again, and hopefully do it better, speak better, hold my head up. I hope you're staying cool. They say this awful heat's supposed to break tonight and tomorrow. I'm holding my breath. I've certainly gotten tired of it. But at least the only good thing came out of it was that I got this cool hat, which I basically bought to stop the sun from beating down on my head. My hair is not as thick as it used to be. I didn't used to need to wear a hat, but it's gotten thinner with time, and so I bought the cool hat. So there's a silver lining behind every hot cloud. All right, so I'm gonna pull some tarot cards. I got a shuffle, and this particular deck is the Pulp Tarot deck. Pulp Tarot. Very creative, interesting deck. I'm really enjoying it, but for some reason it doesn't shuffle real well in my hands. I don't know, maybe the cards are just a little larger than what I'm used to. I don't know, but anyhow, so yeah, I'm going to muddle through this shuffling thing. And I'm going to just pull cards for the collective to get a sense of our energies of, where we are and what we're doing and what's influencing us. So, first card, basically the Us card. Is the Queen of Cups. How about that? No, it's not going to be the Queen of Cups. That's who I drew yesterday, and I have not gotten these cards shuffled well enough. So I'm going to just by executive order, I'm just going to say, well, we're not going to use that particular card to start off with. We're going to mix them up a little more. And cut them. And start again. Us right now, the Magician reversed. The Magician is all about agency, having the capabilities to get things done, using your power and your energy in a constructive, successful way. The Magician reversed is kind of the opposite of that. We're kind of out of gas. Our energies are really not focused, and that's just not that's not a great way to start out. But the cards don't lie. So Us is the Magician reversed. And okay, the basis of this, ew, the Empress. Can you see her? The Empress, very sexy little card. And she's the basis for why we're kind of disorganized. Maybe we've been spending a little too much time with the ladies, or chasing skirts, or I don't know, too much into our worldly, bodily something. I don't know, that's causing us not to be able to focus our energies very well. And that really should be the crossing card. I'm a little disorganized this morning. Just bear with me. Now the basis. The basis for our magician's distress and disorganization is the High Priestess. She's intuition. She's kind of represents the occult, the hidden parts of life. She doesn't talk much. She can bring revelations, but they're all often in a strange way, like helping you get all screwed up so you see something from a different point of view, like this inverted magician. And then the recent past influences are the Knight of Wands reversed, which loss of inspiration. The wands, once again, are the one of the suits of intuition, along with the cups. He's not able to charge into things the way he would like to. Something is getting in his way, or has gotten in his way. That's past. Okay, the current inspirations. I'm getting some reverse ones. The Tower reversed. No, excuse me. It's the Hermit reversed. Okay. This is what's guiding us intellectually right now. It's the Hermit reversed. Now, the Hermit is a seeker of wisdom. He tends to hunt and learn in a solitary sort of way. He's out there on the vision quest by himself. Okay, you reverse that, and you're not. You're in the shallows. You're not far from the shallows. You're in the shallows. You're not thinking deeply. You're really, this is a very social card. It's kind of not terribly negative, but you'd rather hang out with your buds than sit at home and meditate, or go off by yourself somewhere and wait for a vision. I mean, you're not into the woo-woo stuff right now. And that may have a lot to do with why your efforts are kind of scattered and not terribly successful, and your energies are not where they need to be. And this is lots of reverse cards in this spread. The result, the upcoming future of all this is the sun reversed. Kind of means you're not going to be having a real good time. We're not going to be having a real good time here for a while. Hate to be the bearer of bad tidings. But that is not a terribly positive spread. Us, the magician, we're reversed. We're not focusing our will well. We're not getting a lot done. We're not really accomplishing a lot. We're not having a lot of successes. There's something underneath in the unconscious, symbolized by the high priestess, that is disrupting us. Maybe there's a question that needs to be attended to. Maybe there's something that we're kind of just keeping out of conscious awareness, but it's causing a disturbance there, which is lessening our effectiveness. And we've come out of kind of a rough time with the Knight of Wands reversed. We're currently under the influence of the Hermit reversed. And of course, we're being crossed by the Empress. That can always cause disturbance, is when the Empress is upset with you. Life is not worth living. The Hermit reverse, though, I don't see that as a totally negative. It can mean like coming out of your shell. So it's like this stuff is kind of, there's a disturbance there, but it's pushing us to kind of reach out of ourselves, break out of ourselves. That's not too bad. And then the sun reversed, there's just, well, I've heard it said that there's a couple of cards, and the sun is one of them, that are so good and so powerful that they're positive whether they're reversed or not. The reversal can indicate that yes, the blessings and the fun and the joy of the sun is coming, but maybe it's going to be delayed a little. Maybe we've got to get some of these issues that are churning up from our guts named, identified, understood, countered. I don't know how you do that. I know how I do it, but that's what I do is not necessarily for everybody. But to reach down there in your soul through dream analysis and tarot works really well for me, and to begin to get a message of what's going on in that unconscious. You can't just immediately directly access it like you can your conscious mind. You have to kind of trick it. You have to use indirect ways to get to your unconscious, to get it to spew out its secrets. So it's not a terrible reading, but it does. It suggests to me that we've got some issues that we're, as a people, as a community, as a tribe, we've got some issues that we're not facing. We've got some things going on with us that are tripping us up, that are causing us problems, that are keeping us from being able to manifest our best power and energy in the way we desire. So I encourage you to go on that vision quest, whatever it is for you personally, and to dig into some of these questions and see if there's something there that's maybe that you been pushing away, not been dealing with it, that you can begin to get conscious of and come to grips with, and so it's no longer uh, tripping you up, and that you get your best usage and manifestation of your magic. Okay. Well, that's a tarot reading. I just did that spontaneously. That was not rehearsed. Um. Okay, now for the actual psychic weather report proper. Um, Last night I was trying to think about words that were coming to me. Um, as a kind of indication of where the collective psyche is, what are the influences floating around in the air. One is there's a huge amount of disinformation. That's a word that comes to me. We have weaponized information. We are now using it for political ends rather than just in and of itself. The need to be informed, the need to have a good a grasp of our world as we can. Now we're using information as a club, and it doesn't really matter whether it's true information or not anymore. Which I think that's one of the most dangerous and insidious things is the erosion of trust and truth. That people don't know who to trust or what to trust. To a certain extent, there's kind of too many voices. And not all of them are on the up and up. Some of them are flat out evil and highly manipulative. Other words. Frustration. There's an awful lot of frustration. There's a frustration with our highly dysfunctional government. Our government's completely dysfunctional. Fortunately, it's such a behemoth, and it's so huge, and it has so much inertia that it kind of keeps running even without us. But right now, we're not tending the store. I mean, we're somewhere else. And excuse me. The frustration comes in is that we're not getting what we expect, what we really desire out of leadership, out of government, probably not out of ourselves. Donald Trump is, for example, is just, I mean, he's a misfire when it comes to leadership. He just, or where he leads, you don't want to follow. So he's frustrating. I think, like our Justice Department, kind of stonewalling all this information, making all this information disappear. That's frustrating. People want to know the truth, what's going on. Some other words. Isolation, loneliness. This is one of my regular hobby horses. I usually end up managing to mention loneliness in just about every podcast that I do. But, that's a huge problem. Personally, I'm very lucky. I have a family around me that loves me. I have friends. I have professional associations. And I'm not lonely. I may be overwhelmed sometimes, but I'm never lonely. But there are people that have no one. No friends. No real lovers, no real connections. I don't know, they sit in an apartment or sit in a bar all day and be isolated. I don't know what exactly they do. It seems like they would want to reach out and make some friendships, but one way or the other, whether they're elderly and infirm and not able to socialize or have some other kind of impairment that's getting in the way, or maybe they're just emotionally tapped out and just can't relate anymore. They just don't want to be involved. They want to check out, but that makes for loneliness. That's a word that comes to me a lot. If I was going to pick a tarot card for just this moment in time, I think it would be the Tower. I don't know, I don't have the tower handy, but it's basically a picture of a great big tall structure, medieval tower, a fortress, or in modern type decks, it's a skyscraper, it's a real tall building. It's being hit on the top with lightning and there's people falling out of it. It's a kind of cataclysm. Well, and there's a definite yin and yang to the tower, is that yes, it's a catastrophe. Yes, it is extremely disruptive. But it is clearing the way for something new. The thing that's collapsing needs to collapse. And I think we're seeing that in all sorts of ways in our society. Traditional gender roles, that's a very confusing issue for a lot of people that has collapsed. The economic system is holding up all right for now, but the more Trump hammers us with tariffs and all, that could buckle under the strain and could literally break our financial system. And it would have to be put together, but it would come back together somewhat differently than it was before. Oh. Nothing else is coming to me on that. So I think what we get here overall between the report, the tarot cards, and other indications is we have some issues. We can work on them. We do have some agency, even though it's hampered. We can work on them. We are restoring our connections between people. And the good times will come again, but they may be delayed while we're kind of exploring our inner demons and having to pull all this crap out and look at it. Like that whole Epstein thing. I mean, is that gross or what? I don't know what's grosser about it. Just thinking about it's gross. You know, I hear a news report about that, and I want to take my brain out and wash it in the sink, you know, and put it back in, clean. Because that all that stuff's so nasty. There's so much of that kind of thing floating around that we have a lot that we're going to have to attend to. We're going to have to go through some more revolutions of consciousness, maybe more tower moments, before we really get to the place in the sun where life is good and we can ride our hobby horse. Well, I guess that's about it for now. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. The gift of your time means a whole lot to me. You've listened to me for 27 minutes now. Congratulations. That's got to be some kind of record. And I so much appreciate your attention. I'm Sid Whedon, and this has been the Psychic Weather Report for August the 19th, 2025. See you later.